So here are the top 5 modifications or accessories every Chevy owner should put on their truck. So after diagnosing hundreds of classic Chevys and showcasing solutions to 160,000 enthusiasts at SEMA, I've narrowed down the 5 essential upgrades every square body needs. These aren't just bolt-ons, they're solutions to real problems we face daily driving these classics. Whether you're hauling trailers or just cruising to cars and coffee, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what your truck needs to be both reliable and enjoyable. Let's get into it. This, of course, excludes all of your basic maintenance. Make sure your brakes are good, make sure your bushings and all that other stuff's good. Make sure your engine runs right. But for modifications, here's what we're going to go with. So first recommendation to keep that truck cruising and keep you in the driver's seat, put a great stereo system in there. So one of the common frustrations is basically all of us are accustomed to using our phone these days. All of our music's on there. We stream it, we use it, jump into the car. It'd be nice to not have to figure out how to hook up a Bluetooth speaker, which is what I did in my truck for years. I'd have Bluetooth speaker mounted up on the dash. And that way I could hand the phone to my kids. They could play DJ, but inevitably I'd go around a corner and that thing slide across the dash or fall down or whatever it was, or just run out of battery on a road trip. But that's one of the things that we're working on trying to fix, and that's one of our solutions there. Another thing you're gonna want to do with your great stereo system to get the best out of it, do some sound deadening. There's a lot of great products out there. Some of them cost a lot of money, and there's a lot of really reasonable solutions. There's always products entering the market. Do a little sound deadening on your truck, spend an afternoon, and you will absolutely not regret it. This is one of the best modifications I did to my truck, was pull the seats out, pull up the carpet, spend a little time sound deadening, and it makes a world of difference. So the great thing about this solution with our in-dash bezel touchscreen is it really looks like a factory bezel. A lot of people keep asking me what's different about it. The whole goal was to try and make it look like it belonged in the dash. Obviously, these trucks didn't come with touchscreens. That technology did not exist. And I really wanted to be able to offer that, such that jump in, fires up, everything works, got your GPS, and it really, really makes it a pleasurable driving experience. Next thing you're going to want to make sure you have is clear functioning gauges. Make sure all of your sensors and everything are working. One of the things that really frustrated me with my truck in the early days was jumping in it, turning the headlights on at night, and I've got 2 bulbs out. And then I hit a bump and another one flickers on or off. And I remember one time I jumped in the truck and turned on the headlights and every bulb was working. And it felt like Christmas. And that's ridiculous. Everything really should just work every time I jump in there. Problem is, with the old technology that these trucks were built with, the flex circuit on the back and with the way the contacts are, sometimes those distort, they corrode, and they're just really, really difficult to keep working consistently and all the time. So that's why I developed the backlight harness. And what that does is basically removes the failure points from the factory system. Every time you jump in your truck, it's going to work. Put some LEDs in there or use standard incandescent bulbs. But every time you turn on your truck, every time you're driving at night, you're going to be able to see your gauges. You're going to know what your oil pressure is. And I've certainly had times where driving an old truck, I'll have a wire fry underneath the hood and I'll just lose charging. And if I was driving at night and that particular bulb or bulbs were out, I honestly wouldn't even have known it until all of my headlights went dim. So it's a legitimate safety concern driving around, and it's such an easy fix. It's an inexpensive modification, easy to install, and that's why I wanted to bring it to you guys. So you've seen how modern upgrades can transform your square body without sacrificing its classic charm. But do you really want to keep dealing with broken dash lights and phones bouncing around in your cab? At Classic Revolution, we've engineered solutions specifically for your truck, not universal one-size-fits-none parts that look out of place. Our touchscreen bezel gives you modern features while maintaining that factory look you love. And our gauge cluster harness finally puts an end to those flickering dash lights that have been driving you crazy. Transform your classic Chevy's interior in a single afternoon. Both parts install using factory mounting points, minimal cutting or drilling required. Head over to classicrevolution.com or click on the link in the description to get your touchscreen bezel and gauge cluster harness. Stop compromising your truck's classic look with universal solutions that weren't designed for your square body. Get parts engineered specifically for your Chevy. Another recommendation, going to be some modern lighting. Added LED lights to my dome light, and my truck also has the under dash lights when you open the door. And this modification was really, really convenient, being able to open the door and actually see what's going on in there. Climbing in, helping the kids get set up in there. It really adds a lot of convenience to your vehicle, being able to just see what's happening inside the cab when you turn on your dome light. One of the great things about having upgraded headlights is a lot of the incandescents are pretty yellowy. They're not nearly as bright. There's a ton of aftermarket options for headlights, as well as I've upgraded all of the taillights, marker lights, turn signals, all that good stuff. And just having them clear and bright makes your truck safer out on the road. And when you're driving at night on some back roads and you flick on your high beams and you can see as far as you can imagine with any modern vehicle, really adds to the driving experience. So highly recommend upgrading the lighting in your vehicle. So next one is a backup camera for your truck. Now I know what you're thinking, backup camera in a square body, but hear me out. These trucks were built to work, and chances are yours is still earning its keep hauling trailers and doing the heavy lifting. Without a spotter riding shotgun, hooking up trailers can be a real pain. Nobody wants to jump in and out of the cab 5 times just to line up a hitch. Fortunately, the in-dash touchscreen bezel has integrated backup camera. Now, while our grandfathers might have managed without one, or having grandma there jumping in and out and backing up, being able to check for kids and pets and obstacles with a quick glance makes these workhorses even more practical in today's world. It's a modern convenience that honestly makes a lot of sense once you try it or get used to it. What my brother he's got a bunch of kids, and he made an offhand comment once that he honestly feels guilty driving a vehicle that doesn't have a camera. When he goes to back out of a spot, whether he's downtown or wherever he is, he's like, I just like making sure and knowing that there's nothing behind me. You can check your rig when you're walking out to it, but there's a lot going on in life. Everybody's busy, and it really is a nice safety feature to add onto your vehicle. All right, next thing I always travel with is my essential toolbox. Driving an old truck, there's always going to be a surprise here and there. Maybe not always, but there's frequently surprises. Always travel with a toolkit. I always travel with a few electrical supplies, and there's been more than a time or two that I've done a quick fix in a driveway or helped somebody else with a quick fix. Always carry some jumper cables with me as well. I helped somebody jumpstart their Super Duty at the grocery store yesterday. So here's my minimum tool list in my toolbox. I always have an SAE socket set. If you have a Cummins or LS swap truck, keep a metric socket set in there. Obviously make sure you got your ratchets and a couple extensions that goes with it. You want to make sure you have some pliers. I always have some channel locks as well. Flathead and Phillips screwdrivers, get you short and long. Precision percussive instrument, otherwise known as a hammer. I want to keep one of those around. I have a 3-pound sledge in mine just in case. Keep a large and small crescent wrenches in there. Wire cutters, wire strippers. Always have a few pieces of short pieces of wire so that I can make some adjustments or some tweaks or fixes as needed. Have some electrical tape, some duct tape. Always have some spare fuses, and always keep handy your square body in a pinch manual. If you're tired of phone mounts falling off your dash and gauges that only work when they feel like it, head over to classicrevolution.com or click the link in the description. Our touchscreen bezel and gauge cluster harness are engineered specifically for your square body. No universal fit compromises. And hey, I'm curious, what's the most creative fix you've come up with for mounting your phone in your truck? Drop a comment below. I've seen everything from zip ties to Velcro to screwing into the dash to the A-pillar. But there's got to be some wild solutions out there. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you want to see more content about keeping these classics on the road. Till next time, keep that square body rolling.